Okay, in this video we will be going over the Access exam preparation guide, getting ready for the Access certificate test. So we're going to try and go over everything in here. Let's start with the web articles for each section of the recommended study resources. So let's start with image quality here. So with image quality, we're talking some factors. We have the aperture slash iris, the opening of the lens. The f number of the lens is the measurement of how much light it can take in. A lower f number means more light will reach the sensor. Shutter speed. This is important for a variety of reasons. If you're seeing blurriness, for example, you would want to increase the shutter speed. Gain and noise is image pixels basically generating more amplification, more bit rate for the video. White balancing, if you're seeing a lot of blue, unnaturally blue in your image, check your white balance setting. Here's an example of that. Mains frequency induced flickering, exposure, fluorescent lighting. You want automatic exposure to avoid flickering. Backlight compensation in areas where it's too dark. Using wide dynamic range mode, WDR, when there's areas with a lot of light and a lot of dark in one image. Alright, so that's image quality. Let's look at introduction to imaging. Understanding light, depth of field. Yeah, depth of field, sort of how zoomed in you are, how much of the video field you're seeing, resolution, understanding resolution is pixel, range, pixel size, WDR, wide dynamic range. Alright, that's introduction to imaging. Thermal imaging. We know thermal cameras can pick up video in fog, smoke, complete darkness. Video analytics. There's a lot here. So access barcode reader, access face detector, access license plate verifier, motion guard, loitering guard, people counter. Alright, let's move to networking, fiber optics with access products. It's an online course. No web articles for that. What you need to know about fiber optics from what I've seen is multi-mode fiber will be cover shorter distance than single mode fiber. You want gigabit fiber obviously when going long distance. Power surge, alright, so installation, web articles, power surges. This is going to probably be talking about grounding everything. Make sure you ground your switches. shielded cables. Switches mid-spans are properly grounded. Top 10 installation challenges. We've went over this in a separate video. We'll quickly look at the summary. Poorly installed cabling can cause problems. PoE simplifies the installation, lowers costs, provides backup power via UPS. Select the correct level. Day-night cameras can use IR light, ambient, or installed to give images in very low light. Wide dynamic range can be used in scenes with high levels of contrast. Yep. Camera positioning is key. Knowing where light is, positioning it close to glass. If you're positioning a camera inside close to glass due to the reflection. So a bunch of access troubleshooting here. Alright, what other a lot of web articles for system design, identification and recognition. So the required resolution for identification of a person in challenging conditions is going to be 80 pixels per face. 80 pixels per face in challenging conditions to identify them. Good illumination, camera positioning, motion blur, compression settings, excessive noise, low light solutions. They have light finder technology, I know, for some of their cameras. You can use auxiliary lighting. Preparing your network video surveillance system. First, determine the customer's overall goal. Access camera station. Complete mid-sized monitoring for up to 100. Access companion for up to 16. Understanding what type of products Access provides. Perfect pixel count web article. Alright, so this is identification. Body height percentage. So 38% of a 1080p camera is required for identification is what I'm gathering there. Again, identification in challenging conditions, 80 pixels per face, 80 pixels a face. Alright, site survey considerations. So something about power over Ethernet. There's different classes of power. Um, where there's certain minimum power levels needed from the power supplied equipment. Class 0 is 15.4 watts required at the for the minimum at the power sourcing equipment. Class 1, 4 watts. Class 2, 7 watts. Class 3, back to 15.4 watts. Class 4, 30 watts. So it's a little strange. Hopefully we don't have to memorize that for the test. Sound in surveillance. Many many access cameras have built-in microphones. There's simplex, half duplex, and full duplex transmission. Simplex is one way, half duplex is two way, one at a time, walkie-talkie style, and then full duplex is like a phone call, normal phone call, both ways at the same time. Lenses for network video cameras. So there's different fields of view, 3 fields of view for access: wide angle, normal view, telephoto. I remember that being on the test. So wide angle view, normal view, telephoto is the 3 fields of view. Matching the lens to the sensor. If the lens is too big for the sensor, you'll get black corners. Or sorry, if the lens is, too big for the sensor. Fixed or adjustable iris, auto iris, P iris is an automatic precise iris control. Electronic image stabilization, useful in areas where there's a lot of, in like a metro station, a lot of like vibrations. Okay, access product knowledge, web articles, wide dynamic range. We know this pretty well. It's, for turning this on when you have an area where there's a lot of light in one area and a lot of and less light or darkness in another area. Reducing bit rate with access zip stream. Alright, so let's check this one out. Zip stream. Zip stream is helping lower the bit rate. To lower the bit rate, you can record at a lower resolution, reduce the frame rate, increase the compression. Access zip stream provides various methods for reducing video bitrate: dynamic regions of interest, ROI, dynamic groups of pictures, GOP, dynamic frames per second, FPS. It uses H.264 algorithm to compress the video. Alright, let's see what else we got here. So that's all the web articles. Those I think are helpful to quickly go over. It's been a pretty long video, so I'll stop it here.